Hi, I'm Wendy Yi. Welcome to the Dice Tower, and today I want to share with you a few games that I had the opportunity to finally play. You know how there's those games you've heard about, people have talked about forever, and you're like, wow, I just never got around to that. So I've had the opportunity to get some of those to the table. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first game on this list is not an old game. This one actually came out just last year, and this is Fliptown. All right, so I've played Western Legends, didn't love it. It was fine. It's not really my style of game. And so Fliptown takes that cool, like, stick 'em up theme, right? Where you get to be a wild, wild west bad guy. And instead, you get to do it as a cute little roll and write. And so in this game, you know, you're making all these cool roll and write connections. So you're like checking off one box, let you check off another box, let you check off another box. And all that time, you're getting a little bit of, what is it, like infamy or like bad points. And then you don't want the sheriff to be able to catch you. And so if you have too many bad points and you flip over a sheriff card at the end of the round, you might get got. And so you would like lose points, lose money, lose stuff, right? So I really enjoyed this game. It was a ton of fun. Absolutely loved it. And I love that theme integration into the roll and write. It took, like, mechanically is what I want with that fun theme. So it was absolutely great. Loved that one. All right, next on my list is Mind Management. This is a game I've heard about for ages. I feel like people keep talking about it. It's got this cool theme where you have this evil AI and you're this like ragtag group of psychics who's trying to take down the, you know, the big AI organization. I was like, oh, this sounds like a really cool theme. They've got tons of little secret messages on the board. Like, they have all this cool stuff that's going into this game. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to play it. I don't typically like hidden movement games, but maybe this is the hidden movement game for people who don't like hidden movement. So I'm always willing to give stuff a try, right? So I sit down and play, and we catch the AI guy, the mind management guy, in like 2 or 3 turns. And so we're like, oh, okay, let's play again. So we played again, same thing, 2 to 3 turns. I was like, okay. And really what it was feeling like is I was like, this is kind of just a deduction game, but instead like someone's being able to respond to it. And it just kind of made me want to play a real deduction game. So instead, afterwards, the same group of people, we played Core of Discovery and had a lot of fun with that. So I'd rather just play that game. Yeah, for me, hidden movement, still not a thing, sadly. And I don't know, maybe I'm just going to stop trying to play them because I don't get it. To me, it just felt like a relatively themeless board with just pictures on it. And I was just trying to do deduction while you ran around, you know? So I don't get it. If you really get it, please explain it to me because I just don't understand what I was missing. I do know we didn't do the level up at the end of the round, so maybe that helps. But yeah, sadly, not for me. The next one on my list was another one that I wasn't so sure about, and this is Bus. So I have heard about it, obviously, for ages, and it's one that is just a classic, right? And I've thought that it was super heavy and super hard to get into, but it's actually not a super complicated game. I think there's like 7, maybe 8 actions total, and you just take one of those actions every round, and then you can choose to take more actions if you want, or less later, but you just have a limited amount of total actions you can take in a game. And so you're just kind of doing stuff. You're building routes, you're, you know, putting out little people, guests that want to ride the rails, and you're getting all up in each other's way in space. I did win this game, but honestly, the only reason why I won is because good old Matt to my right kept taking the first player token. I don't know why he kept taking it, but then I got to go second, like almost every single round. And so he super lost and I super won because actually I didn't even super win. It was still pretty neck and neck, but just because I had access to everything I wanted to. This is one of those games where some of the actions are completely useless to you, but you have to take something. So you just kind of go and you just kind of throw away action. You're like, I put some people out. Am I going to get those people? No, I'm not going to get those people. But I put them out. So yeah, I get that people like it. It's one of those games that's like easy to learn, takes a lifetime to master kind of thing. And I'm not going to put in the effort to master. So I probably won't play it again, but I liked it more than Mind Management. So that's a plus. All right, next up on my list is Obsession. So I got to play this at Dice Tower East, so it's been a couple months since I played. And I have seen this checked out so many times from the Dice Tower library, and people have it out for like 6 hours. You know, they read the rule book, they learn it from the rule book, they then play with 5 players, they throw in the upstairs downstairs expansion, and it's just this whole thing. And so they have it out forever. And this is one of those games that I've wanted to play, but I'm like, ugh, do I really have 6 hours at a convention that I can dedicate to playing this really heavy Euro that is a thick box and full of just tons of stuff? And then I actually played the game and I was like, oh wow, there isn't that much to it. Like, you get a room, you put it in your little estate, and then you make sure you have the proper workers that can work it so that you can invite guests so that they can come and give you points or money or whatever. And that's kind of the gist of it, right? And then you're competing for things and you're doing other stuff, but like the actual like round structure and a turn is not that complicated. And I'm like, what is in that massive rule book that everyone takes like 2 hours to read? And in fact, the particular situation that I was in is some friends had said that they were reading the rule book, they were going to play it. So I gave them some time. I kind of showed up late so they had a chance to read it. And as I showed up, they're like, oh, we already have 4 players. We can add a 5th. So we added the 5th player, which was me. And then they just read the rule book, and then someone came and actually taught, which thank goodness they did, because it was kind of rough. And so they taught, and that was great. We learned, and then we had the person who read the rule book to answer the questions and to look up all the answers. And so it only took like 4 hours to play at 5 players instead of 6. So we made progress there. I also did show up 45 minutes late, and that was not included in the 4 hours, but still less than 6. All right. Next on my list is Cthulhu Death May Die. So I have played Elder Sign, I've played Eldritch Horror, I played a ton of those games. And one thing that I have always felt like those games need is a very cohesive story in a playing session. So you have like these cool little interactions that have fun flavor text and cool pictures. And you're like, oh, cool, I fought that thing, I did that thing. But there's not like an overarching story that you get to tell each game that you really feel like you're experiencing, right? And I do know with Mansions of Madness and the Arkham Horror card game, like the collectible card game, like with both of those, you have a little bit more of that theme tied in. And I definitely see that in Cthulhu Death May Die as well, where you have like a cohesive storyline. You're all working towards not just a general overarching goal, but instead of a very specific goal. So our story is that we had to run through these crypts, and we had to get through these big tunnels to get all the way to the end to de-alter, like pull apart this altar of bones, and then we had to go and bury them in the different coffins throughout the tunnels. And so we spent a lot of time at the beginning, like as we're waiting for Cthulhu to come out, we spent a lot of time getting stuff and being like, ooh, hey, this would be really good for you because you're super fast. So you're the one who's going to collect all the bones and drop them off. And ooh, I'm really fighty and beefy. Give me more stuff so that I can attack better, so I can fight more, so that when Cthulhu, we can finally beat him, you know, I can really like 1-2 punch him. It'll be great. And so we kind of dilly-dallied a little bit too long. So by the time we got around to get all the way over to the altar, the really speedy, zippy guy, you know, he grabs a couple bones and he's like, I'm going to go bury these. I'll be back. And then we realized we just don't have time because Cthulhu is slowly coming out. And if he comes out and we've yet to take care of the bones, we can't touch him. So it doesn't matter how strong I am and how many amazing muscles I have created and all the guns that I have. Like, I can do nothing to Cthulhu until those bones are out. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll go help out. So a couple of us run in the room. We pull off the other, like, 4 bones, and we go to bury them. And my poor little beefcake character, he's just really dumb, right? He's like, I just want to shoot stuff. I just want to kill things. I don't know what to do with these bones. And so I, like, cannot seem to roll properly to bury the bones. You know what I mean? I'm sure what's happening is that I'm like dug like a very, very small hole and I put it in, I put some dirt on top and I like poke one edge down, the other edge pops up, right? Like it's just ridiculous. I just literally am like, I can't set these bones down. I don't know why. So we absolutely lose. Cthulhu comes out. He is absolutely immortal. And by the last possible, like the world explodes round, my guy finally buries the last bone, but we have no chance to beat Cthulhu. We have no actions left. but it created that fun storyline, and that's what I wanted. So this one I would definitely play again. It was a lot of fun and good stories. So that one was supposed to be the last one on this list because those are my technical 5 games I finally played. But I did want to add another one because it's a game I played before. So it doesn't really count. And that is Potion Explosion. So I've played the digital implementations like Board Game Arena and the app for Potion Explosion so many times. Countless. Can't tell you how many times I've played. Right? And so I had the opportunity. Someone had it set up physically. And I've always just kind of been like, I'll just keep playing it online. I'm sure it's going to be more complicated physically. But it wasn't. It actually, you just roll the dice, or the little marbles in, and then you're good to go. You just set up the little potions and you're set. So it was a lot less complicated than I thought it was going to be. And I enjoyed the play, and I had a lot of fun, and I got to do all the physical pulling out of the marbles. And so I thought, this is good. This was a good experience. And then at the retreat, we had this game exchange. And I was like, okay, I'll take a game, but I'll take one that nobody really wants. I won't take a new one. And so I saw Potion Explosion as an option. And so I went ahead and I took that. I showed my friend. I was like, hey, I got Potion Explosion because I finally played the physical copy. And he was like, oh, did you know that's the game that I put in? Physically, that's the game. I could have just handed it to you instead of putting it in the exchange. So that was a sweet moment. I was like, oh, it was meant to be. It was perfect. All right, so that's the end of story time with Wendy. Thanks for joining me today. Let me know if you have had any cool experiences with any of these games, why you love them. If I'm wrong, just be kind. Yeah, but tell me, please explain mind management. I just really don't get it. And yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm Wendy Yi. This is the Dice Tower. Keep playing games.
Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video, and we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell, and I hope you enjoyed this video.